Have you ever wondered what it would be like to read someone's mind, to know what they are thinking, feeling, or dreaming? Well, you might not have to wonder for much longer because mind-reading machines are coming. And they are not just science fiction, they are real, and they are here. Mind-reading machines are devices that can monitor or change brain activity using various techniques, such as electrical stimulation, magnetic fields, or optical signals. They can be used for many purposes, such as treating neurological disorders, enhancing virtual reality, or manipulating thoughts and emotions. But they also pose many ethical and legal challenges, such as how to protect human rights, such as privacy, consent, and autonomy when using these devices. In this video, we will explore the fascinating and controversial world of brain-reading machines and how they can affect our lives and society. We will also discuss the meeting organized by UNESCO, the United Nations Scientific and Cultural Agency, where neuroscientists, ethicists, and government ministers debated the topic of neurotechnology. So, if you are curious about the future of brain-reading machines and how they can benefit or harm us, stay tuned and watch this video till the end. One type of brain-reading machine that is already available and widely used is the brain implant. A brain implant is a device that is surgically inserted into the brain and can either record or stimulate brain activity. Brain implants can be used to treat various neurological disorders, such as Parkinson's disease, ADHD, or depression. They can also be used to restore lost functions, such as hearing, vision, or movement. For example, one of the most successful brain implants is the cochlear implant, which can help people who are deaf or hard of hearing to hear sounds. A cochlear implant consists of an external microphone, a processor, and a transmitter, which sends signals to an internal receiver and electrodes, which stimulate the auditory nerve in the cochlea. The cochlear implant can bypass the damaged parts of the ear and directly stimulate the brain, allowing the person to perceive sound. Another example of a brain implant is the brain-computer or BCI, which can create a direct communication link between the brain and a computer or a device. A BCI can be used to control a prosthetic limb, a wheelchair, or a robotic arm, using only the power of thought. It can also be used to enhance cognitive abilities, such as memory, attention, or learning. For instance, one of the most ambitious BCI projects is Neuralink, a company founded by Elon Musk, the billionaire entrepreneur and visionary. Neuralink aims to develop a wireless and implantable BCI that can connect the human brain to the internet and enable a variety of applications, such as telepathy, artificial intelligence, or virtual reality. Neuralink claims that its BCI can be implanted with minimal invasiveness, using a robot that can insert thin and flexible electrodes into the brain without damaging the blood vessels or the tissue. Neuralink also claims that its BCI can record and stimulate thousands of neurons at once and transmit data at high speed and bandwidth. However, brain implants are not without risks and challenges. One of the main risks is the possibility of infection, bleeding, or damage to the brain during or after the surgery. Another risk is the possibility of malfunction, hacking, or interference of the device, which can cause harm or unwanted effects to the person or others. A third risk is the possibility of ethical or legal issues, such as who owns the data collected by the device, who can access or modify it, and who is responsible for the outcomes or consequences of the device. Therefore, brain implants require careful regulation and oversight to ensure their safety and efficacy, and to protect the rights and interests of the users and the society. This is one of the topics that was discussed at the UNESCO meeting, where experts and policymakers agreed that there is a need for a global framework and standards for brain implants, and that the users should have the right to choose, consent, and withdraw from using these devices. Another type of brain-reading machine that is becoming more popular and accessible is the wearable device. A wearable device is a device that can be worn on the head, such as a headset, a helmet, or a cap, and can either measure or influence brain activity using non-invasive techniques such as electroencephalography, EEG, functional near-infrared spectroscopy, fnirs, or transcranial magnetic stimulation, TMS. Wearable devices can be used for various purposes, such as entertainment, education, or health. For example, one of the most common wearable devices is the EEG headset, which can detect the electrical signals generated by the brain and use them to control a computer or a device. EEG headsets can be used to play video games, create music, or meditate using only the power of thought. EEG headsets can also be used to monitor the mental state, such as stress, attention, or emotion, and provide feedback or intervention, such as relaxation, motivation, or therapy. Another example of a wearable device is the TMS helmet, which can generate a magnetic field that can modulate the activity of specific brain regions. TMS helmets can be used to enhance cognitive functions, such as memory, creativity, or learning. TMS helmets can also be used to treat psychiatric disorders such as depression, anxiety, or addiction by stimulating or inhibiting certain brain circuits. However, wearable devices are not without risks and challenges. One of the main risks is the possibility of inaccurate or unreliable measurements, which can lead to false or misleading results or interpretations. Another risk is the possibility of adverse or unintended effects, such as headache, nausea, or fatigue, due to the exposure to the electrical or magnetic fields. A third risk is the possibility of ethical or legal issues, such as how to ensure the privacy, security, and consent of the data collected by the device, how to prevent the misuse or abuse of the device, and how to balance the benefits and harms of the device. Therefore, wearable devices require careful evaluation and regulation to ensure their validity and quality and to protect the rights and interests of the users and the society. This is another topic that was discussed at the UNESCO meeting, where experts and policymakers agreed that there is a need for a global code of conduct and best practices for wearable devices, and that the users should have the right to know, understand, and control the use of these devices. A third type of brain-reading machine that is emerging and experimental is the mind control software. A mind control software is a software that can access or alter the brain activity of a person or a group of people using various techniques such as subliminal messages, hypnosis, or persuasion. Mind control software can be used for various purposes, such as marketing, politics, or warfare. For example, one of the most controversial mind control software is cambridgeanalytica, a company that was involved in the 2016 US presidential election and the Brexit referendum. Cambridgeanalytica used a software that could collect and analyze the personal data of millions of people from social media platforms such as Facebook and use it to create psychological profiles and target them with customized and manipulative messages such as fake news, ads, or memes that could influence their opinions, behaviors, or votes. Another example of a mind control software is DARPA, the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, which is a branch of the US Department of Defense that develops and tests new technologies for military purposes. DARPA has a program called narrativenetworks, which aims to understand and manipulate the narratives that shape the human mind and society, such as stories, myths, or beliefs. DARPA uses a software that can monitor and measure the brain responses of people to different narratives and use it to create or modify narratives that can affect their emotions, attitudes, or actions. In conclusion, we have seen that brain-reading machines are devices that can monitor or change brain activity using various techniques. We have also seen that these devices can have many benefits and risks, and that they require careful regulation and oversight. We have also discussed the meeting organized by UNESCO, where experts and policymakers debated the topic of neurotechnology and agreed on some principles and guidelines for its use. We hope that you have enjoyed this video and that you have learned something new and interesting about brain-reading machines. We also hope that you have gained some insight and perspective on this topic and that you have formed your own opinion or question about it. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends and family. If you want to see more videos like this, please subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to get notified of our latest uploads. And if you have any comments or feedback, please leave them below and we will try to answer them as soon as possible. Thank you for watching and see you next time. Bye.